Welcome back, Algebra 1. I'm kind of excited to get started on this one, special products. And the reason why that is because I love patterns and I love shortcuts because it makes it a lot easier for me to do math. Okay, so here, like I said, we saw that pattern yesterday, or the previous video, I should say. And this is how it's illustrated in those math tiles that I have never used before till this class. So we have a plus b times a plus b. So we're multiplying the same thing. Okay, this is called the square of a sum. So we have ab on one side, ab on the other, and then we're going to just multiply a times a, that's going in this square, that's a squared, and then b times a, which is ab, b times b, b squared, and a times b. So we can see already our pattern here that we have a squared. So it's going to be the first term squared, and then you're going to multiply the two terms together, and then you're going to add them to each other, and then it's the last term squared. So first term squared, then you're going to take the two terms, multiply them together, and then multiply it by 2, and then add the last term squared. And that's this right here. So again, it's called the square of a sum, a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Let's look at example number 1. A plus b squared. Need to, oh, well, that's how we get the, that's how we get the formula. Okay, here we go. Here's the real math. Example number 2. Use the square of a sum pattern to expand the following expressions. So you could expand this out and do the, x plus 2 times x plus 2, or you can follow the pattern. It's this squared plus 2 times x, and then you have to do that twice, and then plus this squared. So let's take a look at the pattern. X squared, here we go, 2 times x, which is 2x, and we have to do that twice. So 2x plus 2x, or you can do 2x times 2. Either way, same thing. So 2x times 2 is going to be 4x, and then the last term squared, which is 4. So that's our final answer. X squared plus 4x is equal to 4. Let's look at this guy. Okay, we're going to have the first term squared. So 3x squared is going to be 9x squared. Okay, right here. Because if you notice, it's not 3x squared, it's 3x, that whole quantity squared. So that means you need to square that 3 too. Plus, okay, we got to multiply these two terms together. 4 times 3x, that is 12x. Okay, and then we need to do either 12x times 2 or 12x plus 12x. Either way, you get 24x. And then that last term, which is 4, square it. 16. Boom. Easy peasy. So just like we have our the square of sums, okay, we also have the square of a difference. A minus b squared is going to be a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So it's very similar to our last one, except that you will have a negative right over there. Let me take a look at our notes real fast. Okay, so for the notes, you just have to write here the a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Those are examples. This is writing down that formula again. Okay, so let's just look at that example. Here again, just following the pattern, okay? Y squared minus 3 times y, which is 3y times 2, 6y plus 9. There we go. And just remember that minus sign. Doing the same thing here. 2x squared, remember, it is that whole quantity squared. So it is 2 squared times x squared, which is 4x squared. That's this first term. Multiply these two terms together, negative 5 times 2, negative 5y times 2x is negative 10xy. You have to put those two different variables together, see? And then multiply that by 2. So we had negative 10xy, multiply that by 2. You have negative 20xy plus, and then this term squared. And again, it's that whole quantity. So it's 5 squared times y squared, 25y squared, right over there. Okay, example number 4, I know my numbers sometimes, is an example of multiplying conjugates. Conjugates are when you have two binomials. One is the sum and the other is the difference of the same terms. They have to be the same terms. Example number 4 is just giving you that explanation. Okay, so you have a plus b times a minus b. That is equal to, when you use FOIL, a squared. Outside is minus ab, inside plus ab, and then our last, which is minus b squared. So when you're doing a product of conjugates, it's a squared minus b squared. So first term minus last term squared, which is a fun pattern. Let's look at these conjugates over here, okay? It's going to be x squared minus 4 squared. Here we go, x squared minus 4 squared. Simplify that, x squared minus 16. Done. Let's look at this over here. Also, multiplying conjugates. It's the same terms, but one is added and the other is being subtracted. 3x squared, that whole quantity term, so that's 3 squared times x squared. 3 squared is 9 times x squared is 9x squared. Then that second term, again, you're doing 7 squared times y squared. That's 49y squared. There we go, 9x squared minus 49 squared. So here's a nice little table that tells you what the formulas are for the square of a sum, difference, and the product of conjugates. Again, fun patterns to help you multiply these things a lot quicker. So just copy it down those examples and then do your book work and you are all set. Have a good one.